with the STG Soundlabs Radiophonic 1, and I'm just going to round this out by talking about the modules I haven't talked about. Most of them are so straightforward they almost don't require any sort of mention, but I'm going to mention them anyway. First, we're going to talk about the dot mix, which is a 3-channel mixer with an output possibility of negative or positive, depending on what you are mixing. If you are, of course, mixing audio, that's not really going to matter a whole lot. But if you are mixing control voltages, of course, having positive and negative can result in distinctly different outcomes. Currently, I'm just doing audio because I want to show you an aspect of this mixer that makes it a little bit more than just a standard mixer. If you look, I have the sawtooth output coming out of our VCO and going into the mixer. You're probably like, wow, Mark, that's super amazing. No, but the point of the matter is this mixer was designed and based off of the functionality of the Moog CP3, the console panel mixer. Now, that particular mixer in vintage Moog modular systems had this funny characteristic that if you turned it up too high, it would start to clip and distort in a very specific way that was actually really nice. So when STG made this mixer, they have basically duplicated this CP3 functionality. So when you use it, you're going to get the sort of outcome that came from the Moog CP3, which is desirable. So basically, if once you push it past about 3/4 of the way up, it starts to distort. And I'm going to demonstrate that right now. This is our sawtooth. You'll notice that after we got past the 3/4 mark, it started to get a little bit beefier and fuller. So that is a desirable thing. Here, let's listen to what it does with the square wave here. And we could have both of them. Well, that's very weird. That is a very, very rich sound. And although this is not a Moog filter and quite different from a Moog filter being 18 decibel per octave and a diode ladder filter instead of a transistor ladder filter, even so, that is a great vintage sound. So the dot mix is really useful. We also have the dot BAM, which is a buffered attenuated multiple, or bipolar attenuator multiple. I'm not sure which it is, but there's actually 2 sections that start out as one section. If you plug something into this input, you can then attenuate it in 2 directions and take it out of this output. If you don't plug anything into the second input, then all 4 of these outputs are the signal that you have put into it. So you can do that, or you can plug something in and then attenuate it and have it come out, and then plug something else in the second input, and then these 4 outputs will be whatever you plugged in here. So that's super functional and helpful. There's also apparently there's some sort of jumper connection that you can do from the VCO. Gosh, let me see if I can remember this. There's an output from the VCO that is this modulation source that is the drift generator, and apparently you can connect the VCO to the BAM and then take that out as a modulation source. But I don't think that is set up on this particular radiophonic one. So that's also cool. There is a multiple here that is a pretty straightforward standard passive multiple. This is the non-completed version. I think the completed version has jacks in these holes. And then over here, we have the .VCA, which is a very standard VCA where you have an input, a signal input, a control input, which controls the amplitude of the signal, and then an output. And you have a switch, which allows you to make the choice of AC or DC, depending on what your source signal is. And there are two of them. So you could be doing what I've been doing in this whole demo is just basically using this as a VCA for audio. And then you could use the other one as a VCA for modulation, which I did not do, but could have. So that rounds out the functional modules in the STG Soundlabs Radiophonic 1. And so yeah, now I'm going to move on to doing some examples of patches.